Hi, everybody. Welcome to Coach's Playbook with Paul LaPolice, your home for elite CFL breakdown analysis. Today, the Toronto Argonauts. We're going to take a look at what they did offensively last week. I thought Chad Kelly had a great game. There were three great offensive performances last week, so normally I try not to do offense, but I think we should take a look at what those guys did. So total offense for Toronto was 436 yards. Chad Kelly was 21 of 26, 331 yards, 81% completion percentage, and he had three 30-plus plays. The 30-plus plays are real important because you're 5 times more likely to score in a drive that has a explosive play or a 30-plus play. And Kadeem Carey, 14 carries, 55 yards. They kind of tried to mix him in, but you could tell that they wanted to throw the football, and they were very good at it against Ottawa, so they'll be prepping to play each other in a couple weeks. That should be very interesting. Chad's averaged in the 2 games this year 400 yards and about 400 yards in both games, so they got to find a way, Ottawa, to stop what he does. Before I go, please subscribe to the page, turn notifications on. It's going to alert you as we're posting new stuff. We just posted this week Coach's podcast with Weston Dressler, so I had to sit down with a Hall of Famer, Weston Dressler, and it was a really interesting conversation, so you can go over there and look at that. But now, let's take a look at the Toronto Argonauts. Let's open the playbook on the Toronto Argonauts offense versus the Ottawa Red Blacks, Week 20. Ottawa's plan of attack was to pressure and blitz early and void the middle of the field, and Mackay, Polk, and Chad Kelly make them pay for doing that. So what goes on in this scenario? What happens? So let's draw some things. These are underneath routes that aren't great versus blitz. You can get a throw. This is a quick out. This is a post in the middle of the field. So Chad recognizes it's going to be blitz. And these players are by themselves. And what I mean by that, there's nobody to help back here. So what Chad can do is just throw it to a spot and let the player run it down. And it's very hard for these defensive backs because they have to cover corner routes and posts without any help. He's going to sit on that one. He's going to sit on that one. He's going to sit on that one. As you can see right here, the ball's out, just thrown to a spot, and he can just run it down. And that's what happens. Chad throws it to a spot. Polk runs it, finds space, and makes the play. Now, watching it from here, Chad's got to trust his protection. What should happen here? All right, the line sliding here. Here. It's a 4-man slide. The tailback is going to block this one. He's going to block that one. Really, it should have been here. And Giffen should have taken Mike Wakefield. So Mike Wakefield shouldn't be hitting the quarterback. It should be this player. But Chad still gets the ball off, and that's a good lesson for a quarterback. Tape your drop and throw it versus blitz because you don't know what will happen. Polk runs it down. Makes a great play. Right? Really good execution on Dondre Lamont. Demonte Coxie, top of the screen on Elijah McGee. This is a spectacularly thrown ball. Really good plan by Chad. So, real simple concept. It's just a vertical and an outcut. Now, just understand the safety's way back here. All right? So, it's gonna, as long as he gets an outside release, it's going to be a one-on-one out there. That safety shouldn't be able to make a play if Chad throws it towards the sideline. And Chad's just saying, hey, if this guy's going to be low and he's thinking about, his eyes the whole time are kind of looking to see if Chad's going to throw that quick out. So Chad just takes the shot on the outside. The lower that player is, the more you think about taking the shot play. And that's a beautiful throw on the outside. Nice play. Get the ball inside the one. A little bit different picture from the Red Blacks this game in coverage. Dejan Brissett gets a big gain here on 2nd and 7. So what happened here? The coverage here, let's start with what the coverage is. He's a deep middle player. He's kind of pushing to split this area of the field. He's a deep player. He's underneath. And the thing you really see is the expansion by that linebacker and by this underneath halfback. So they're expanding the box. Okay, he's pushing because he expects a pass to be thrown somewhere out there. So I'm not sure whether he's supposed to push, because as they all expand this way, unfortunately, the Red Blacks don't have everybody inside. And that makes Didnt Brissett easy for a big gain because everybody's turning and running. Why don't they have anybody inside? Because this is a zone pressure. So you'll see right here, Santos Knox, he blitzes to help get more pressure. So they just don't have anybody underneath for Brissett. That's why it turns into a big gain on 2nd and 7. Sometimes a good thing is just force a one-on-one situation and just throw a one-man route. And that's what happens here on Dandridge here. I believe David Unger on him. This is a 22-yard route. And there's a play-action fake. They fake this way. They bring people in here to max protect. So you're going to get people to kind of flow in this direction. But there's just a one-on-one, and he just says, go 20 yards. Sooner or later, Dandridge's going to get out of his back pedal and then throw a comeback. So it doesn't get much easier than this. Sometimes this is really good to do. Make it simple for your quarterback. It's got a good arm. Run a 22-yard comeback. So good execution. Real quick, you can see the action. But Kelly all the way is like, all right, I'm going to take this shot on the outside. David Unger got the easy opportunity. Great by the quarterback's eyes. Great by Didnt Brissett with a high-angled corner route, and we'll explain that in a second. And this play, I'm a little unsure of this play, what they're trying to do. There's a post in the middle of the field. There's a corner route. There's an underneath route, and then there's a hitch. And there's a comeback on the outside. But Chad the whole time is looking over here. So whether he's just moving the safety with his eyes because he knew pre-snap that player was inside. But normally when you have a corner route, you're going to kind of keep an eye on what this corner's doing. So I think he throws this blind, and he just trusts that the touchdown angle, what I call a touchdown angle when he puts his foot in the ground, is going to be high enough that the corner can't get underneath it. Because his eyes are over here, and then all of a sudden he flips and throws a corner route. But it's a spectacular throw, and it's a nice high angle. See how the corner cannot get underneath it. So this is zone coverage. He's the inside zone player. That's the outside zone player. But he sees all this space. So he's trying to make sure that he can fall off on the corner route. But I'm telling you, I think the quarterback's eyes looking to the left froze him a little bit. I think that's what happened. And then he can't get underneath it. And it's because Didnt made a high angle. So now he's sprinting to get underneath it and make the interception. But such a high angle, nice play, great throw, touchdown. You can watch it from this angle. You can see right here. He's inside position. That's the throw. Okay, now that corner is trying to get underneath, but he doesn't get there. Nice throw and catch. You can see what the Argonauts coaches loved in Mackay Polk here. Easy touchdown for him, using his speed, running by. Argos, really good recognition of what's happening here. So what coverage is happening? What's going on from a coverage standpoint? This player, this player, this player, and this player are covering, those 4 people are covering those 3 people. So this is a zone structure. You don't see anybody in man over here. So sometimes you try to get extra linebackers in the box, and you can't always be in zone. So you do combination coverages. So this is zone, but this is man over here. So he's man-to-man, and he's man-to-man. And that allows these guys to be more of a box players. What the Argos are running is a RPO. So they're running inside zone, but instead of reading the end, they're blocking the end. So that makes their read the linebacker. So if this linebacker steps up at all, you throw to the routes associated. Now, the routes they had was a go and a hitch. And for Chad Kelly, he sees a low player. He sees this linebacker trigger. He knows he can just throw it to that spot. Real quick, good recognition, great throw and catch. So Ottawa had a man side to the boundary. along with the zone side. So this was the zone side, this was the man side, and for the Argos, good for them because they were able to hit a seam versus man coverage versus Damon Webb in press. Why you like throwing to the wide side of the field? Because there's a lot of room there. You can make people miss when you get the ball in the player's hands. Demonte Coxey does that here. And the motion is going to tell you what's happening. Coxey's going to waggle down the line of scrimmage. Polk is going to go up vertical. And he's going to run a corner route. And Coxey's going to just get in his wake and he's going to run a 6-yard out. So let me pause it right here. So right here, when he's ready to break out, you know there's still a vertical threat, and that should keep this corner continuing to go high. Why? Because the route is going out where the corner is. And now we have an outside breaking route. So for the quarterback, this is as easy it is to read. If this player stays high, you throw the out flank route, unless that player just ran underneath it. So he gets a positive read that that player's high, throw the ball out there. That's what he does. And now, because it's on time, he can make people miss in space. So easy recognition of just throwing that outside throw. I like that Chad took the underneath throws when they were there. This is 2nd and 7, voided area. This is a voided zone blitz, and he just takes the check down to get the first down. I don't know, we run it a little bit too much dance instead of getting the first down right away here. But what's happening? He's a high quarter player. He's a high quarter player. You'll see that Money Hunter, the free safety, is going to rotate down. The halfback is going to rotate, or the Sam linebacker is going to play the quarter player there. And that's zone. They're going to blitz extra people. So there's 2 people deep. There's one inside taking away this inside throw. There's just nobody underneath. So just take the underneath throw all the time. Just get the first down and stay on schedule. Nice touchdown on a return route here. This is what you're trying to do. Dijon Brissett gets leverage on Lamont and is just in a better position to make the catch. So this receiver is going to run in, and he's trying to pull that player. They're calling this versus trying to get man coverage, trying to get him running out of the way. He's over the top of this if everybody sits in zone, and then you get him slow play it, and then he breaks inside. And you hope that he has run everybody out of the way, and you just follow that. And he just gets position on Lamont, and Chad just throws pretty ball. So Chad Kelly did a really nice job in the pass game, averaging about 400 yards in the 2 games versus the Red Blacks. That's going to be a key concern for the Red Blacks in their playoff game.